This is Patrick and Berne of Just Pod It Media, and we're going to talk about Captain America: Civil War.
Captain America:
Civil War.
Arguably my most favorite Marvel movie.
It is. Wow.
It's up there. It's up there. Definitely.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. Before we get into it, out of curiosity, what is your top? Let's do it top 5.
Okay, top 5. Let's start with top 5.
And this is as of June 12th.
Yeah.
2019.
Before Homecoming.
Before Homecoming.
Spider-Man Homecoming.
All right. So Patrick, what are your top 5?
Top 5. Let's start with top 5.
Top 5. Is this in order? Or?
Yeah. I think in order.
Okay.
I'd like to do it in order.
All right.
Okay.
I'm curious.
Avengers.
Number 5.
The first one, yeah.
Number 5.
2012, right?
2012. That's a good one. Yeah. All right. That's number 5.
No. Number 4.
Number 4 is
Iron Man.
Iron Man, the first one.
The first one.
Wow, man, those are really great movies, and they're like in the 4 and 5. I'm surprised. All right. Okay, so you have Avengers, Iron Man. Third.
The third one will have to be Guardians.
Guardians. All right. The first one. I assume.
Yeah, the first one.
First one is
the
amazing.
first one.
First one is amazing. Yeah.
And the second one.
Top 2. Yeah.
Top 2.
Second one.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah. A bit controversial. My top 1.
Yeah. No. Okay. So that leaves top 1. So
top 1. Before I get into top 1, I want to explain why Endgame is not in my top 5.
In your top 5, okay.
Because people will like, oh, Endgame. Why is it not in top 5?
It's the most successful financially.
Everyone's in it. It's a celebration.
And
collaboration.
A goodbye, in a way, yeah.
A goodbye. Ending 10 years.
10 years.
The big
11
project.
years,
The big bad guys. Done.
Yeah.
Dunzo. Big
3
Dunzo.
phases.
Yeah, 3 phases. The reason why Endgame is not in my top 5 because it's Infinity War is in it.
Infinity. Oh, so that you prefer Infinity War?
Yeah, Infinity War is a better movie.
Yeah, I consider those 2 movies as one movie. Sorry.
As one movie.
Yeah, that's always how I see it. Anyway,
but I consider it as one too.
As one, yeah. As a separate. Yeah.
Instead of a separate.
As a separate.
But considering it as one movie.
Yeah.
I would have to say Infinity is what fronts it. You know?
Yeah.
It's an Endgame.
You'd have to pick it over Endgame.
Yeah.
I think I agree with you.
And Endgame is like, imagine if you have like a full course meal.
Yeah.
Infinity is the main course.
Infinity is the main course.
And Endgame is like the dessert.
Dessert, yeah. In a way, you can kind of even like. Not that you can't have it, but
even though it's long, Endgame's long.
It's the longest, right? 3 hours.
It's the longest, yeah.
It clocks in at 3 hours.
People were like, "Hey, heads up, go to the bathroom before you."
But dude,
and there was even articles like, "This is the good times for you to go to the bathroom."
Yeah, they had like kind of hints, you know, like suggestions. But it didn't bother me. Come on.
So
I grew up with Lord of the Rings, so.
Oh my god. Okay, so Endgame.
It's not in your top 5.
Not
but
in the
you
top
still
5.
Like an honorable mention.
Honorable mention, yes. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. So top 1.
Top 1.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. Wow, that's a great movie, man. That's a great movie.
Man, you know what? Like we're on an age and on a time where we were like, oh yeah, superhero. Damsel in distress.
Yeah. The classic tropes. Formula.
Yeah. Winter Soldier just came with the great realism.
Yeah, it did.
And
the tone is really different.
It just changed the whole formula. Captain America was not. He didn't have any love interest.
Yeah, he didn't. It was pretty. It was just it was focused on him.
Yeah, it was like it gave you like this spy chase.
Yeah,
thing.
It's very.
But at the same time, keeping the whole superhero vibe, which was cool.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And for once, they actually made bromance cool. Sticking out for your bro.
Yeah.
Winter
Considering
Soldier.
that he's a murderer. Yeah.
Yeah, Bucky.
Yeah, they made him.
Good old James
likable.
Buchanan. Yeah.
They made him likable, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
And if not mistaken, that was the Russo's first
movie
for Marvel, right?
Yeah.
And look where they are now. So
Endgame.
It was obviously a great choice on
On Feige?
On Feige, Kevin Feige's part.
Props to you, Kevin.
Yeah, props. Huge props. But that's a pretty solid top 5. I mean, I can't argue with it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's like it's what you prefer anyway.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't like nitpick or anything like that. At the end of the day, like I said, I mean, maybe if you said Incredible Hulk is in there, I'd be like, I don't know.
Okay.
Like
Shots
Thor
fired.
2. No, I mean, not that it's a horrible movie. I'm just saying, like,
I'm just saying, people. Well, I don't consider it as canon.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, you can consider it or not. At the end of the day, it is.
It is. I won't lie, but it's kind of like saying like your beef with Don Cheadle. And,
okay. Let's not get into that. But yeah, I have a slight beef. Not a beef. I just have a slight bias towards
with
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
As I have a beef with Edward Norton and Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, hey, that's fair. That's more than fair.
In my defense,
yeah,
Edward Norton did a really good job.
He's a great actor, man. He's a great actor. Oscar nominated.
Yeah. So why you hating my boy Edward?
Oh, hey, no, I like him. Don't look at
towards
me.
Kevin, Mr. Feige.
Mr.
Creative
Feige.
Differences. We'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. At the end of the day, Hollywood,
yeah. So back to Civil War.
Back to Civil War. So yeah, we're here to talk about 2016, right? 2016's Captain America: Civil War.
Man, do you remember when you first saw the trailer?
I was super hyped.
Super hyped.
This is probably easily the best trailer in my opinion. Okay,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it got me the most hyped. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like that scene when Captain America and Iron Man they're gonna fight.
The intro was so good.
Yes.
With Snow. Voiceover from Chris Evans. Captain himself.
Yeah. I mean, it's his movie, so.
Yeah. And then, everything just unfolded.
Yeah.
It was so
great
good.
build up.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was the first trailer where they retconned us as fans. No?
I'm trying to remember. Is it?
Because
I'm trying to remember.
In the trailer,
foggy. Yeah.
The first one, right?
Yeah, the first one.
Where they show the lineup of all the heroes.
All the heroes on the tarmac.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vision wasn't there. Spider-Man definitely wasn't there.
He was not.
And we were just thinking like, okay, cool. It's just a couple of heroes that we know and we've seen.
Yeah.
Other than Black Panther. Because this was his first appearance.
First appearance. You're right, yeah.
And then, a couple of months before the release, they reveal big old Spidey.
Yeah.
Webhead.
Little old Spidey, yeah. Because he's like a kid, basically.
Yeah. Big old webhead.
Yeah.
And then when we finally get to see the movie and the lineup,
the final lineup
on the movie.
On the movie, yeah.
Vision and Spider-Man was there.
Oh yeah, Vision. Yeah.
So they retconned
good old
us, man.
Paul Bettany, man.
Yeah.
Paul Bettany, who did his thing as Jarvis.
Vision. Oh yeah, Jarvis.
Going back, yeah,
Jarvis.
As Jarvis, and he obviously everyone knows he becomes Vision in Ultron, Age of Ultron.
You know what? If you would have told me 2008, hey Pat, this tall big dude, blonde, the monk from Da Vinci Code.
Oh yeah,
will be Vision.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be like,
he did voice him though. He did voice him. He did voice him. So,
but come on, man.
Yeah, who would have thought that he'd actually portray Vision on screen? What you have.
Dude, he's an actor, not a voice actor.
Yeah. But he has a very distinct voice, I think. He has that very distinct British English.
But come on, man. 2008, the guy from Da Vinci Code.
Oh, no one ever foresaw
was gonna be Vision.
Yeah, no one ever foresaw this success, let alone Vision. Yeah. So I mean,
Paul Rudd.
Don't beat yourself over that.
Paul Rudd, Ant-Man, dude.
Yeah. Paul Rudd. He has his own slate of movies.
Yeah, him getting built. I remember him from Friends. Phoebe's boyfriend.
Oh yeah,
goofy guy with a goofy haircut.
Yeah,
now look
Clueless, at him. All those other old movies.
Look at him. He's like cool.
Yeah,
with abs, making out with Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah, I think you know what though. When you mentioned earlier that your favorite movie is Winter Soldier, the thing that hit me mentioning Paul Rudd is like, it's come to the point where these movies are even getting Oscar winners like Robert Redford, man. Like just imagine that. Like who would have thought like years ago, like Oscar winners and serious theater actors would be like lining up for superhero movies. Well, you know what I mean?
Come on, man. I don't wanna take all the glory away from Robert Redford.
Yeah.
Big props to him.
Oh, yeah.
But I think safe to say the guys who paved the way was Sir Patrick Stewart.
Oh, Sir Patrick Stewart, yeah.
Sir Ian McKellen.
And Sir Ian McKellen. That's a good point. I just mean though, like, no one really predicted how MCU would
than Robert Redford
would evolve. You know,
who else?
Who? Angela Bassett.
Oh,
Critical. Glenn Close. Dude, there's a lot of underrated.
Yeah. She was Nova, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of underrated.
Who else?
Prestigious actors. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm trying. Sir Anthony Hopkins, my goodness.
Oh yes, Odin himself.
The
All Father. How can we forget about the All Father?
I mean, it just shows how vast MCU has become. You know,
the pulling power.
Yeah.
Man, like, they must have done a good pitch.
Who really would have thought? I mean, look, we're watching scenes right now on silent. It's on mute. We're watching the airport fight on Civil War, and it's just, who would think that we'd see this in our lifetime? You know, growing up as kids, we just saw these as cartoons.
Okay, dialed it down. Because before this happened, we were all really excited about Avengers.
Yeah, of course. I mean, of course,
before Avengers, the superhero team up that we've seen most was Batman and Robin. In team ups, I mean, Batman and Robin. If you want to be nitpicky, maybe say X-Men because it's a group. You know what I'm saying? It's a group. But Fantastic Four too.
Fantastic Four. Yeah. They've been in the culture, in the pop culture. Yeah. But man, it's just so crazy. I mean, right now we're recording, and I think Endgame is like number 2 of all time.
Yeah. Couldn't beat Titanic.
But
couldn't sink. Pardon the pun.
It's just, I don't know. I mean, it just shows where culture is, that we're slaves.
Come on.
I mean, we are though. I mean, at the end of the day, like we're like,
you know what?
We flock to these movies, and I'm one of them. So I'm not trying to criticize.
I'm not gonna say that we flock, or we're just really passionate about it.
But that's what I'm trying to say, though. Like, who would have thought? Like, because like I said, our parents, at least their movie times, they didn't have this dominating the box office. Like every month, there's like a superhero movie. Like, whereas maybe in the 90s, in the early 2000s, maybe there was 1 to 4 superhero movies in a year. Whereas nowadays, it's like so packed with like superhero movies. Like, do you remember days of Jonah Hex, man? Like,
oh yeah, man. Are you kidding me?
I mean, Jonah Hex.
Some really bad superhero movies.
Yeah, really bad.
But we're not getting into the bad superhero movies. Yeah, we're here to focus on a good one.
Yeah, which is Civil War. And Civil War. It just blows my mind, man. Like, that we're to this point where we can have a Giant Man versus War Machine and Spider-Man.
And then an inception of like pop culture. Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, references to Empire Strikes Back, which Disney owns. Was the deal? Yeah, the deal was fine.
Because they had
done Force Awakens in 2015. So yeah. Maybe it's a slight reference. I mean, slight nod that they own it, or Then again, Empire Strikes Back is like the best Star Wars.
It's just them showing off their property.
Yeah. That they own everything. Yeah. Man. What doesn't Marvel own?
Cash cows.
Yo, my goodness. Monopoly. Don't even put it lightly. Monopoly, dude. Yeah. Like what don't they own, basically? I mean, the Fast series, maybe. Like, that's the only one that makes a lot of money that can compete. Jurassic Park, maybe, is another one.
What studio is
Universal Studios.
Okay.
So, I mean, but other than that, they own, like you said, Marvel, Star Wars.
You mean, yeah.
Disney. Their own Disney properties.
You're forgetting about Avatar.
Oh, yeah. Well, that brings me to my point of the recent Fox acquisition.
Yeah.
I.e., Avatar, Fantastic Four, X-Men, yes, Deadpool.
Well, for non-comic book fans,
you mean just the general
audience, it's not just X-Men and Fantastic Four
that they acquired.
I mean, that they acquired, like, it's the property. Like, for example, Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
it's not just the superhero team. It's Doctor Doom,
Yeah,
Galactus, Silver Surfer.
Even the secondary characters, tertiary characters, everything
yeah.
within the universe. You could say, right?
Yeah. And X-Men.
Yeah. He's rich with characters. Rich.
Yeah, rich with characters.
It's a gold mine.
Yeah, and like anything that's like associated with them.
Yeah. Anything cosmic related.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if we're gonna talk about that, but because I've been reading on Reddit and then like Deadline, it's being torn to shreds right now, where it lost a lot of money. It's getting some critically mediocre reviews. So that being said, though, Civil War is, I think, it does a good job in setting up everything that comes after, because after this movie changes the status quo in Marvel. Would you say?
Yeah. After Civil War, what was
after Civil War, if I'm not mistaken,
Black Panther?
That Black Panther was in 2018.
Guardians?
After Civil War, I believe it could have been Doctor Strange, if I'm not mistaken.
Doctor Strange?
Yeah, because it was in 2016.
It's kind of a blur. Everything.
Yeah. Everything is kind of a blur, but this really changed and set up for.
Okay,
Infinity
so
War.
after Doctor Strange, was it Black Panther?
After Doctor Strange, 2017 was Guardians Volume 2.
And then Black Panther.
Black Panther was in 2018, so you're forgetting Homecoming,
Oh, okay.
Thor Ragnarok, and then right after Thor Ragnarok is Black Panther. So yeah, you're right though in saying that there's a huge gap.
There's a huge gap between Civil War and Black Panther.
There's 2 years. 2 years.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that just shows.
It's huge, but then I felt like it was short.
Yeah, well, easier to look back those days.
Easier, yeah. Black Panther. Who would have thought Black Panther was would have been a huge success?
It's a huge success. Isn't it like technically like maybe third movie Marvel's most successful financial?
I think so.
Because obviously there's Endgame and then Infinity War, but then
that was like collaborations. Like
imagine
Black Panther was just by himself. By himself.
No, I mean, as we know, there was no team ups. We didn't. They haven't said Hulk is gonna be in it or Iron Man. No, it was just.
And it wasn't like a sequel. Or
it wasn't.
Or a prequel. It was his solo movie. Bam, origin story.
Back up the
Maybe we'll discuss it in a previous podcast.
I think it's worthy of a discussion, definitely.
Because like the music was beautiful,
the direction, the acting,
the acting, everything,
design.
Everything.
My goodness, we could go on, but Civil War.
Back to Civil War,
and it does a great job not only setting up the storylines upcoming, but like you said, it sets up Black Panther. It sets up Peter Parker. These secondary characters that you don't even think of, but.
Yeah.
Again, Marvel. And
but thinking of now that you mention it, it's a huge gap between Civil War and Avengers. Infinity War.
Oh yeah, of course. 2 years. 2 years and a few months. Yeah.
Captain managed to grow a beard.
Oh yeah, he was in hiding all this time.
Yeah. Scarlet managed to go blonde.
Iron Man.
Mackie didn't change.
He's black. Black don't crack. Oh my. And then you have Iron Man, who does show up in Homecoming, right?
Yeah.
In between that, you can say 2 year gap. He shows up in Homecoming. Is that is that his only appearance?
Iron Man, yeah.
Post Civil War.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just to kind of give us an idea that hey, these guys are still alive. I mean, they're in the world somewhere.
Yeah. Well, all in all, Civil War. It's a good movie for me.
Yeah, it's really
because it's not your typical superhero movie.
It's not, but at the end of the day, it kind of is too in a way because like it's not your typical in the sense how it's paced, how it's shot, and it's really it gets you tense. But at the end of the day, it's like what we would do when we were kids, in the airport scene when you have these characters fighting each other. Like Spider-Man is gonna fight Captain America, and I have Ant-Man, and he's gonna fight Black Widow. You have like those fantasies we had as a kid. You know?
But it's like as much as fantasy as it is, it's a natural. It took a natural course.
Oh, definitely.
Towards it.
It's like, no Justice League.
It's not like hey, I'm gonna shock you. Like, boom.
Yeah,
like,
here's the big load on your face.
Yeah.
No. It takes its time.
It takes its time. It's justified.
And
as viewers, we empathize.
We do. Especially if because that's the thing. It's kind of like a comic book version of Team Edward or Team Jacob.
Oh my god.
Where whose side are you on? Are you on Iron Man's side or are you on Captain America's? You know what I mean? Like they both have their philosophies and ideologies.
Yeah, but before they made us choose sides, they gave us backstories.
Yeah.
They gave us time to
get to know the character.
Get to know the characters, their thoughts.
Yeah. The things that they care about. You know, obviously Iron Man is affected by the innocent deaths, and I'm not saying Captain America isn't, but he takes it in a different way. You know, like he even says it in the beginning where he says we can't save everybody.
Yeah.
And
this job.
Yeah, we can't save everybody, and if you're gonna not want to save people because you're gonna hurt someone, then no one will be saved. So I think it does a good job in giving us both sides, and it's up to the audience to kind of decide.
Yeah. There was no off tone.
Yeah, I mean, all right. If you could nitpick in the movie, like, is there any nitpicks or maybe criticisms that you could?
I know you nitpick on the title.
Oh, okay. I'll get into that later. But I mean, what is there anything that you?
The CGI.
Yeah.
As much as good as it is.
Yeah. There's some little hiccups.
Yeah.
That kind of look a little.
With Iron Man.
I think it's been a problem over years.
When he takes off his helmet.
The helmet. Yeah. Anything up. Like the neck up, right? It kind of looks like someone copy pasted.
Yeah. Because like when Captain America with his shield, looks good. Everything looks
of course
perfect.
Everything's good.
But when like I'm not saying it's horrible.
Okay,
but there are some.
It's possible.
Nitpicking, not possible.
Yeah.
Nitpicking.
Yeah, a little
like
nitpick.
in some scenes where Robert Downey Jr. has his helmet off.
Yeah. But it kind of looks a little off.
Yeah,
a little sloppy.
But it's not hindering its success.
Comparable to Henry Cavill's mustache?
Oh my god.
No, I mean, if we're talking about CGI goofs.
Oof.
What do you know? Nothing, not that bad. Would you say?
Not that bad.
Yeah. So that's it. Like nothing. So it's basically just little visual things.
Well, you know what? I'm a sucker for good soundtrack.
Good soundtrack, yeah.
And there wasn't any memorable
that's a good point.
tunes.
Yeah, nothing really. No, nothing.
Not even on the high note.
Yeah. Now that you mention it.
Airport fight, nothing.
Yeah, it's just a generic, build up of nothing really stands out.
If you Google search dramatic music, I'm pretty sure this would
something would pop out. Or he just told the composer that day, like, all right, hey, do you think? I mean, again, not to take anything away from the music.
Yeah.
Just it didn't really give us any.
But they stepped it up on Avengers.
Oh, of course, that's their main headline.
Ragnarok, they stepped it up.
Yeah. Oh, Ragnarok. Yeah, there's so many we can talk about. Yeah, but.
Anyways, how about you?
Nitpicks.
I remember your title.
The title, I mean, Patrick and I have been talking about this for a while, but my only really big nitpick is the title of Civil War. Because I'm a huge fan of the comic book version, as Patrick knows, and the original comic book version, Civil War, spanned.
Yes, it involved the whole Marvel universe.
Which is,
mind you,
yeah,
including X-Men and Fantastic Four. Kevin Feige did his best.
Yeah, he did. And of course, the movie's great, but I feel that is it worthy to be called Civil War though? Just because there's some little callbacks, i.e. I think when Captain America shield is reflecting Iron Man's proton blasts, which is a very iconic Civil War image.
Okay. In my defense, and in Kevin's defense,
Kevin Feige's defense,
it's Civil War, and it's justified because number one, it's a conflict, even in the comic books.
Yeah, the main conflict.
The main conflict was it's Iron Man versus Captain America.
Yeah.
And anything else around it was to complement the whole story.
Yeah. No, I can't argue. Yeah.
Right now, we missed out on some good story arcs, like when Mrs. Fantastic had an argument with Mr. Fantastic, Trouble in Paradise, and Fantastic Four broke up. But now that Marvel acquired the rights,
maybe you never know. But I think also
a sequel
yeah. But
that
also,
could happen in the timeline of Civil War.
Maybe, but also because also the catalyst for Civil War in the comics was school children being killed by a mutant accidentally when they were filming a show, and
yeah, was it a mutant?
I believe, yeah, it was a mutant because they were doing some type of reality type of show.
Oh yeah, and they were kids, right?
They were kids. It was a
they were like
schoolyard.
superhero kids.
Oh no, they were just normal kids on a public school, and they were playing.
Okay.
And the mutant couldn't control his powers, or something went wrong, and he exploded, and in the process killed 60 school children, which triggered, the government to be like, all right, we can't let this continue. Which I think is a better catalyst in my opinion. But again, the movie does a good job.
You know what? It's a superhero movie. At the end of the day, we don't want to dampen the spirit.
Yeah. Kids dying is a little too.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. They had that morbid aspect when they were like reviewing footages. Mr. William Hurt, New York, Sokovia,
and Pat
Washington.
says Incredible Hulk isn't canon. you see that?
Semi canon.
Yeah, the only thing he takes is William Hurt. But yeah, I mean that's pretty. I mean, it's not even you can't even say it's a legit complaint, because if we're just talking about the movie, I think it's good. That maybe there's some pacing issues, like there's some scenes here and there that I feel like maybe we could have, or maybe they could have focused more on Black Panther, who I really like.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a great film. Not in my top 5 personally, but it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Okay.
In the
one thing I forgot to mention, man, I wish they could have done the Spider-Man arc on Civil War, where they revealed his real identity.
But like you said, in Kevin Feige's defense, Spider-Man wasn't built up yet.
Yeah.
He I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he says he's only had the powers for 6 weeks or 6 months. 6 months. So,
but overall, pretty faithful, pretty good adaptation.
Image-wise, yes.
Oh my God.
Title-wise, yes. No. Yeah. At the end of the day, the main conflict is Iron Man and Captain America having conflicting views.
Yeah.
And the movie doesn't really... I mean, because Robert Downey, talented actor, he conveys the emotion.
And also, like, coming from, like, a narcissist.
I mean, that's
reckless.
his character, right? Yeah, that's a character.
Yeah, look at him now.
Yeah.
Playing ball with the government. Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's such a turnaround from Iron Man 2, right? Where he's basically flipping off the entire Congress.
Yeah, like,
and now I think it's because the catalyst was the
New York.
Not necessarily the New York. I'm sure it had a effect, but in the beginning of the movie of Civil War is the mother comes up to him and says, "My son died because of what happened in Sokovia." So, that really triggered him to want to change.
So overall, Civil War, top 2.
Top 2.
How about you?
Top 2. What do you mean top 2?
What is it in your top 5?
It's not in my top 5, but it's like probably 6, 7. It's up there. It's a great
honorable
movie,
mention.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because it's definitely because there's 22 MCU movies. How many are there? 22.
I think so. Yeah.
It's definitely not in teen. It's definitely top 10. Let's put it that way. It's in top 10.
Okay. We'll talk about your top 5.
Oh, come on. Yeah, there's plenty of time. No, come on.
But overall, to wrap it up, how would you rate this movie?
How would I rate it out of 5?
From a scale of 10.
Oh, out of scale of 10? I'd give it like maybe a 9.
Or maybe a 9?
Yeah.
And it's still not in your top 5?
8.5. 8.5.
Okay,
Yeah, because I thought about it now. I'm like, 8.5. 8.5.
Okay. I would give it a 9.
You give it a 9?
It's
solid. It's a solid movie.
A solid movie.
I mean, what more can you ask for with the tarmac fight, with the heroes fighting one another, and at the very end, which we didn't even really touch on, but that final battle of Captain America and Bucky versus Iron Man.
Iron Man.
While you have Zemo kind of spectating,
watching the mayhem unfold.
Watching them that he plotted throughout the... It did carefully a good job, right? Crazy, man. Crazy.
For anyone who's like interested to watch this,
rewatch it. You should rewatch it.
Watch it for the first time. I would suggest it highly.
Of course, you might want to... What would you suggest for them to watch
prior
to getting, because there's some storylines.
There were some storylines
that you
definitely.
probably need to understand. Winter Soldier.
Well, I can tell you definitely. Start with probably Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier, right? Yeah. I think that,
and then go immediately to Civil War.
Oh, I think that works though. Yeah, because
it works.
It does because it is Captain America's trilogy. So yeah. So if you want to watch Civil War, maybe do a rewatch. I'm sure you've seen it, but just remember how amazing these moments are. Before all the planetary, cosmic stuff, they have this really good intimate story where it's family, friends, on
down
opposite sides.
And sides. At the end of the day, to wrap it up, all these guys, they're just humans.
They're humans. Well, Vision. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
He is human.
I know what you're saying, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's our thoughts, man.
2 cents about Civil War. Thanks for listening, guys.
Signing off.
Bye.